Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel for a very different video than my normal. I actually took a trip with my parents down to Louisiana to visit my twin brother, and while I was there I saw a bunch of art murals and I took some footage of them that way I could share with you all. And I had the hopes of visiting some art museums in the area, but unfortunately time and just our schedule didn't really align well enough to be able to visit them. Originally my hope was to be able to record and show a lot of the art in the area and in the museums, but unfortunately I wasn't able to go to any of the art museums. But I did take some footage of these murals and I was just so excited by them. I live in a place where you don't really see any type of art anywhere. I think there's maybe one small art center that occasionally will host events, but for the most part where I live doesn't really have many artistic stuff. While we were there, I also was able to go to the zoo, and so I also have some footage of some of the animals. This is a very different video than what I normally do, but I hope that you all will still enjoy it. The time when I was there at the zoo, a lot of the animals were sleeping, so I didn't get to see a lot of them, but I did get to see some really cool ones and some really pretty ones. Here I have my brother narrating this.
According to a famous story, a Louisiana black bear was the inspiration for the first teddy bear. In 1902, President Theodore, or Teddy Roosevelt, was hunting in Louisiana and Mississippi. The hunt went on for days without success, and by the last day, Roosevelt had still not bagged a bear. His hosts, anxious to send the president home with the trophy, captured a Louisiana black bear for him to shoot. Outraged by the lack of sportsmanship, the president refused to fire on the animal. Shortly thereafter, an editorial cartoon by Clifford Berryman, which is this one, portrayed the bear as a cuddly cub. Inspired Brooklyn store owner who observed the public fascination with the incident asked and received permission from the White House to sell his stuffed toy bears as teddy bears. Named after the president, the plush, livable bear were a hit, and the staple of American culture was born.
That was my brother narrating and reading off that little story about teddy bears and how they were made, which was posted right in front of the bear exhibit, or the bear section, I guess. So yeah, this video is kind of different than my normal stuff. It has a very slight bit of art that was around on the walls, and then it's mostly just footage of different animals. Mostly the animals that I liked and thought were cute. So a lot of tigers, lions, otters, bears. Most of them were obviously fenced up, so it's somewhat hard to see, but I tried my best to get the best footage I could for this. When I explore different areas, I really like to see different things and different art stuff when I can. And hopefully I can go back sometime and see the art museums in Louisiana, because I heard lots of really good things about them. This bird was really cute. You can see here he's dancing. If you danced in front of him, he would mimic you and dance along with you, and I just thought it was the cutest thing ever. Apparently he would also mimic your voice if you said hi, but we couldn't really get him to do it. This one actually made me really sad. The worker there was telling us the story about how they rescued her. She unfortunately was a victim of animal trafficking, and they declawed her nails, and the worker was kind of explaining how dangerous and painful that is for like any cat really, and just about the lifelong consequences that she was going to have to live with because of the fact that she was declawed. It was honestly a really sad story, and I wish I thought to record it so I could share it with you all and share like all the details, but the main point of the story is how horrible animal trafficking is, especially when it comes to like exotic animals. I have a really big love for animals, and it makes me really sad to hear about all these horrible stories about animals being trafficked and sold for so many different reasons and all the horrible things they have to go through. At the very end of the zoo, at least for the last part that we explored, they had this little like closed off bird sanctuary, I believe is what they called it, and you could just see birds flying around, and some of them even walked around you, and it was really cute. This specific bird just kept following us on the ground. It was the one that got the closest to us, and it just really seemed to like the attention everyone was giving him. I had a really good time on this trip to Louisiana. I believe it was only my second time going. Both times have been to visit my brother, and this time I actually did get to explore a bit more. Unfortunately, I didn't get to any of the art museums, but I did get to go to the zoo and to see these murals along the way. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope it was somewhat entertaining, even though it was very different. I really recommend that if you live in a place where there are art museums or art pieces or art statues, murals, whatever it may be, to explore it. It really fuels creativity, at least it does for me. And I unfortunately don't really have anything like that where I live, so whenever I travel, which isn't often, I try to soak up as much of it as I can. It's always very different art styles and types from what I normally do, since I'm usually like painting cute pastel squishies and things like that, but it is still very fueling for my creativity, and I'm just the type of person that loves all art. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye!